Shabbat Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to Black Gods of Yahweh Media, wherein the power of, and the glory of, and the good of YHWH, Yahweh. In the name of YHWH, Beit Nun Sofit, YHWH, Yahweh ben Yahweh, Selah. Over the years, I have come to accept that there are many different interpretations in the knowledge of Yahweh. Some that I believe are good, and some that I believe are bad. But I've come to respect and to accept that. Many of these points of views comes from an understanding within the knowledge of Yahweh, and we all have different understanding. This video is for those who say praise Yahweh and praise Yahweh ben Yahweh. That means that you believe that the Father and Son, who are one, but exist simultaneously as two different men, two different beings in the celestial lodge. We have some of us who are actually non-messianic, meaning they don't believe in the Father and the Son concept. That's fine. I've been back and forth into this situation long enough. I accept everyone's interpretation. This is going to be a two-part discussion. The first part is for those who believe like me, and I have an interpretation also. Many of you will say, well, it doesn't matter at all, and some of you will be taken aback by this. The first question I'm going to ask is, who raised us up? Who reformed us? Who rebirthed us into this knowledge of Yahweh so that we can have the opportunity to enter the kingdom of heaven? Those of us who are citizens of Yahweh, citizens of YHWH, Beit Nun Sofit YHWH, that would be him. Yahweh ben Yahweh would be our Father. He is the one who raised us up. He redeemed us. Now, guess what? Who was the man who raised him up, who redeemed him, who rebirthed him into his knowledge to be the Son? And that would be Yahweh. In essence, that would make YHWH, Yahweh the Father, our grandfather. Now, before you jump out of your seat, we're going to have to take a look at that word grand. And let's find out what it means. Grand, glorious, grandiose, large, luxurious, magnificent, marvelous, noble, splendid, dynamic, stupendous, admirable, majestic. You get the point. All of these attributes are defined as the one known as YHWH, Yahweh. The Bible calls him the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. The Creator is referred to as the Most High, the Alpha and Omega, the Ancient of Days. He is grand above them all. And I refer to him as the grandfather. No, I don't say those terms, but I look at him as such. Just like we are a seed of Abraham, Abraham would be our forefather because he became first, the creator of all things. The Most High God of Israel would be the grandfather, and our Messiah would be our father, YHWH. That's my interpretation. Obviously, if you think different and you feel that YHWH, Yahweh is the Father, that is correct. He is the Father, absolutely. But from my point of view, YHWH Beit Nun Sofit YHWH raised us up. He made us his children, and the one who raised him up was his father, YHWH. The Messiah taught us, in order to get your name into the book of life, you must go to your New Jerusalem Bible. You must write his father's name first, YHWH. After that, you must write his name, YHWH Beit Nun Sofit YHWH. Then your Hebrew name comes after that. Now, let's talk about the Hebrew name. If you take up the name Israel or Yahweh and spelling that name with a Y, YISRAEL, YISRAEL. Within that name, Israel is the Y, the U of the Tetragrammaton, the first character, representing 10. The A and the E, the vowels and the Aleph Beit, they're synonymous, the same as in Yahweh. 3 of those characters within Yahweh and Israel are the same. The vowels mean the same. So in essence, the name Israel and the name Yahweh are together. Israel is in the name Yahweh and vice versa. So many of us, we take on the title such and such, Ben Yahweh, or Bath Yahweh, then or Bath Israel, Bath Ben Yahweh, and then Israel. So obviously you would take the name, like an example, Yaakov ben Israel, Shabbat Yahweh, or Yaakov Israel ben Yahweh. Either way. So the name Israel and the name Yahweh are synonymous together. The characters in the Aleph Beit means the same. Now we're going to talk about the second portion of this discussion. And this requires a physical action. I want you to go to someone who is a friend or a relative that is in churchianity and Christianity. And I want you to ask them, do you consider yourself a child of God? Do you consider yourself a son or a daughter of God? Is he your father? And they're going to say, of course I do. I've been going to church for 40-some years. Yes, God is my father. Then I want you to ask them, what is their name? If they tell you their name is Davis, if they tell you their name is Somerville, if they say any other name outside of Yahweh, then guess what? Their God is a European or the government or a slave master. You must carry the name of your father. You must carry the name of your God. Let's go over that again. I want you to ask the question to any of your friends or relatives still inducted into churchianity and ask them what is their name. And if their name is Jackson, Johnson, Davis, then their God and their father is a European. You must have the name of your father if he is God. How can you have another name? Now, anyone that's honest with themselves, when you give them this information, they're going to research the name of God. And when you research that without any denomination or affiliation, you're going to come up with Yahweh. No matter how much people try to change the vowel sounds to make it sound different, it's still going to be Yahweh, YHWH. How can you be the son of or the daughter of God and not take up that name? When the Messiah was here on the earth, he raised up his people, our people, the nation of Yahweh. They were referred to as the Yahwehs. or the Yahweh. That's what they were referred to. So they took up the name of their father, the name of their God. That's how you are defined. You got the Carthrites, you got the Bushes, you got the Trumps, you got all of these people, the Wright brothers. They take up the name of their fathers. So if you're taking up any other name, then that name you're taking on, that is your father and that is your God. Once we have come into this knowledge, we are to drop those names. You might not like it. I'm just telling you the truth. To all the pro-blacks, if you have a name of an African or a Hamitic God, then your God is a Hamite and so are you. That's just the way it is. How do we know this? We'll go to 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. If my people, which are called by my name. That ends it right there. This is Yahweh speaking. His people are called by his name. So you can't be a child or a son of God and not carry his name. We have learned this through our Messiah. We have learned that we must identify ourselves with our Hebrew names that relates to our Father, to Yahweh. So ask people who are religious, who say they belong to God. If you do, you must carry his name. This is very simple. Those of them that blow you off, guess what? That means they're not really interested and they don't really take it serious. This was a short lesson, short discussion. This is Black Gods of Yahweh Media. Once again, I want to say peace and shalom. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Ben Yahweh.